Here, and today we are talking about our process for helping carriers maintain a full lineup of truck drivers, and not only that, how we actually keep them there. So we want to talk about today, number one, the first video out of the series video that we're doing. And by the way, keepdrivers.com. Check us out over there, keepdrivers.com, if you want to learn more about it. We're just going to do some quick overviews of why we are different than the rest out there and why drivers are coming our way, and why we've been finding success in that and helping carriers out here like yourself get into a position where you can bring quality in. The non-biased approach is the first video that we're talking about today. We're going to talk about why that's so important today's age of these drivers that are out here. We just hit over 1 million active truck drivers in our network, and I said in the network, I'm not talking about just a database or selling leads off a database. These are guys that we actually work with on a daily. And what we do with that is we get a lot of feedback. We work with them. We have staff that only call these guys and actually let them voice what's going on and where they're at. And we constantly help them more than just job opportunities. We're actually helping them in health, finance, figuring out how to become owner-operators, helping them with funding, helping them with progressing in their careers, but also in life in general. And that's why we're able to really build a relationship with the driver candidates as in our the Drive United group, which is at the end of the day, it's the top driver network of all time. It's been out here. I don't know of anybody that's bigger. We've almost got a third of the drivers in the U.S. that are with us, and we're actively working with them on a daily to try to communicate, help, and keep in our database so that when we bring carrier partners in, we're able to really talk about you and cut out the confusion that's happening. A lot of these driver candidates do not want to go direct to a company any longer. They don't want to work with a recruiter. The way that they see it is a lot of times recruiters, unfortunately, have not seen the inside of a truck. They don't think that they know the operations, and a lot of times when they get over into something, it's not what they thought it was because expectations were not met, and they just were kind of confused by the time that they took the position. That doesn't always mean it's a recruiter. Listen, I started as a recruiter over 20 years ago and have been in it for a long time. I've been in the corporate setting. I've also been on the outside a little bit before I got into the corporate setting, got out of the corporate setting, and then really knew how to build an agency and build the network of drivers. We've been doing that for about 18 years now. But what it really comes down to is we're seeing from that feedback of these drivers that they're just not, they don't have an interest in going direct with recruiters because they need somebody to actually tell them what is going on in the operation. So we have built a network of drivers that actually give that feedback, and we're relaying that feedback. Now, when we bring on new opportunities, new jobs, we don't always have candidates in there yet. But when they go to these positions, they know that that's something that they're going to have to do. And then we continue to grow our database on that feedback, giving other drivers the knowledge of what is happening. It gives us an opportunity to also get that feedback and really change the way that it's put out to driver candidates. So they may be hearing of a negative thing that happens out on the road, and then they judge your system or your program because of it. A lot of times that's just confusion, and we like to cut that out. So in our coaching and in the things that we're doing there, we are actually communicating with them as well. They're seeing direct to a company anymore is bad, and here's why. There's no reason in the world that drivers it can make sense of going direct to a company anymore, because there's massive amounts of ads, there's massive amounts of talk out here on different positions. It could be bad, it could be good. Either way, whatever way it goes for you, it can't always be 100% true, because they're looking at one guy that went out and talked a bunch of negative on something that happened with him. Maybe let's just say it was a dispatch or a situation like that. But a lot of times candidates, potential candidates out here may take it as a negative because all they see is the negative feedback. Fortunately, in the digital era where we're actually have the ability for individuals just to go out and say whatever they want about you, and the disputes take so much time, and sometimes it's just it really doesn't even really work out. And so people take that for the word of the situation that's going on. And that to me is a way that we can cut this out, by really coming to people that have feedback. And when we're giving you the negative side of feedback, you understand what it is, and you can kind of see. So they're looking at that being, if you go to your company direct, they're going to say, well, of course you're going to say that you're the best. You can't tell them that the competitor's better, these kind of things, and that doesn't make sense for a driver. So if they can go to a network that's not really putting themselves out here being biased to a company per se, but really biased to the great opportunities, and that's why we strategically add carrier partnerships that we see value in, that we can give value back and make sense of it. We don't add everybody, obviously, because it doesn't always work, but the ones that we have and we have been working with for decades, there's a reason why, and that is why we're excited to share this right here. And hopefully this gives some kind of value to understanding what our service in the things that we do are different, and just approaching it in a non-biased way. And you can still get that part of the network, of drivers out here. If there's 3.5 million drivers out here, and we've got about a third of them out here that have an interest in approaching it this way, there is a value, I believe, to that, and I think that you'll see that as well. I hope this gave some kind of value about what we do. Hopefully, if you want to learn more, keepdrivers.com. We'll break down some of the things that we do. We've got a lot of strategy, a lot of things that we would go over and kind of talk with you about. Until then, we're going to get on to the second video, and check us out over there. It's going to be on the media branding, coaching, training part of kind of what we do. Even though we don't call ourselves a media or branding company per se, we do it all, and it's just by default, because this is how we communicate with our drivers on a daily, which is a great benefit to you and the value that we bring for what we bring it for. Again, keepdrivers.com. Check us out over there. Connect with us. Until then, I will see you on the other side. Hey, thanks for sticking around. And by the way, you like videos like that, check this out right next to us right here. It's going to be exactly what you need. If you're new, subscribe down below. You'll get updated on all new information coming. And if you comment below, I'm going to be pulling somebody on a monthly to give free coaching away. Looking forward to it. See you on the other side.